Hey, it's Reena Jadov doing the review of ProLon. So it's 8:50 p.m. and I'm going to tell you how my first day of the ProLon diet went. So I was supposed to have breakfast, tea, the L-bar, which is nut-based, the algal oil, and then for lunch I was supposed to have tomato soup, olives, crackers, and the NR1, and tea in the afternoon. And then for dinner, I was meant to have the L-bar minestrone soup and the choco crisp. Let me tell you how it actually went. So I woke up not terribly hungry because, of course, I had made sure to pig out the night before in anticipation of my fast. I'm not sure if that's how they want you to do it, but that's what I did anyway. I'm always worried about not getting enough food in me. So I didn't wake up terribly hungry. I actually skipped breakfast completely. And at about 11:30 is when I had my first bar, and that just kick-started my digestion. And by 12:30, I was eating the crackers. By 1:30, I was eating the olives. By 2, I had had the oil as well as the choco crisp. By 4, I had gotten into my second L bar, and by 5, I had had the minestrone soup. And by 6 o'clock-ish, I had the crackers. So I sort of binged, noshed, you can say, kind of all day, between starting at about 11:30-ish till about 6. And I would say that I sort of ate every hour and a half or so, instead of combining them into 3 specific meals the way they'd like you to have. So that's how my first day went. I feel fine. I'm maybe a little tired, but that probably is psychological more than anything else. But I feel fine. I don't feel overly starved as I thought I might. So that's my first day. I'm looking forward to day 2. So here is day 2. So that's tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I actually want to share with you, I went ahead and asked team some questions, and I want to share with you the answers that I received. So one of my questions was, what is the impact of excluding fresh food from our body? Should I incorporate something fresh and green, like a green juice, or even just like cucumbers? And the answer I received was that the body is designed to recognize fresh food as food. So it would be very challenging to truly mimic a fast with whole pieces of food. And so ProLon's been designed very carefully to incorporate nutrition to fuel the body without triggering the nutrient sensing pathways. I, of course, refrained myself from having my green juice or anything that's going to trigger the nutrient sensing pathways. The second question that I asked was, hey, can I have as many herbal teas, or should I limit myself to 2? And the answer was that, in fact, as long as it's a 0-calorie tea, I can have as much as I like. So that was good. I had a couple of different teas today, not just the ones that they offered. The next question I had was if there were some exclusions like chocolate, then could I customize my kit? For example, could I have requested another L-bar, which is nut-based instead of the choco crisp? And they mentioned that they are planning that as a future feature, but it isn't available today. So today, kind of what's in the box is what you get, which is fine. I am a little allergic to chocolate, but I had my chocolate crisp and I didn't have any issues today. So, and then my other question was, can I add some apple cider vinegar? What about things like chlorella, spirulina, which I have been taking? What about psyllium husk? And the answers were, the clinical trials did not test the impact of adding anything beyond what's included in the box. So we cannot say for certain what the impact would be if I decided to customize it for myself, which makes sense. However, from a biochemistry standpoint, psyllium husk does not appear to interfere. So I didn't add it today, but I might consider adding it tomorrow. We'll see how tomorrow goes. The apple cider vinegar, chlorella, and spirulina are nutrients, and they might impact the diet depending on how small or light the person is. I am pretty small, and so I chose today not to incorporate those because I really do want to maintain the integrity of the diet, especially as I'm testing it to share my experience. They have looked into products like spirulina, but they've not included it yet. So those are some of my questions, and those are the answers that I received. Again, day one is done. I feel pretty good. I'm not starving, and as you can see that I normally do things like Bikram yoga. I work out every day, probably an hour, hour and a half. I did not do that today. I am going to go after this and do maybe a 30 minutes walk, something light, and probably get to bed by 9:30, 10, so that I don't binge. My biggest fear is that I'm going to start getting hungry around now, and that I'm just going to quit and walk into the pantry and do something silly like, eat some cashews. So to prevent that, I'm going to get into bed, brush my teeth, and with that said, I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see how tomorrow goes.